Adobe has added thousands of free stock photos into the latest update of Photoshop. I'm going to show you how to access those in 3 different ways, and we're going to build a photo collage from start to finish. So not only are you going to learn how to get these free photos, you're also going to be able to follow along with exactly the same photos and learn how to build a full collage. To start, let's go into Photoshop, click the PS. So we can't bring it into an empty document, we have to create a document first. So let's just choose File, New, and then we'll create a 1920 by 1080. Don't worry, this is just a little container. I'm going to show you a hack to get around this in a moment. So there's different ways of getting the images. We could go from the taskbar here. Why don't we start here? And this is where you can go through all the free images that are curated inside of Photoshop. So we can scroll down, and you'll notice some of them have paths already created. Or we can search. Let's search. We're going to choose the word map. Let's use this image of a map. So we're going to choose it and then click on Add. Notice it adds it here. It's downloading. And it's going to drop it as a smart object into my document. All right. And we can just click the Move tool to apply it. Notice we're not getting the full image. You'll notice that right now it's fitting within 1920 by 1080. I want this full size. Because it's a smart object, it's real easy. Just double click. This will open it as a new PSB. I can close the original document. I don't need it anymore. This is going to be my working document, and notice now it's at full size. Now I want to add more images. Notice this icon is now changed after you've done the first one. We can go here and we can choose Add Free Adobe Stock Images. I just want to make you aware that you can get more free stock images if you go onto the stock.adobe.com. And then when you search, if you change this to free, you can search under the free ones here, and this will give you vector images, it'll give you photos. You have a lot of different types of things here that you can filter it by, and there's videos and other things in there too. All right, let's continue. Let's look at a second way of adding images. So we're going to choose the icon here in the toolbar. Add free Adobe stock, and then we can search in here. Let's search under travelers. And notice we have a bunch of images here. Great. Why don't we use this one? And we're going to add it. It's just going to drop it on top. And then you'll see the outline. For some reason it won't show until we just click the Move tool, and then it will place it. I'm going to drag this over to the side a little bit. Hold down the Shift key to constrain it. So as we build this little collage, you could download the same images and you could follow along. Let's add something more. Let's add a van. So there's another way. This is the third way. If we choose File, and we can choose to not search Adobe stock, because that would show all the paid as well as the free, but we can place free Adobe stock images here. And let's use the word van. And I'll hit enter to search. And notice we've got a bunch of different vans. Let's find one that's more appropriate for our kind of scene. Starting to get somewhere in here. Ooh, I think that one might be good. I like the coloring on it. So why don't we apply this van here? And these free images are royalty free. You can use them in your commercial projects up to a print run of 500,000 pieces. I want to flip this around. So I could click to mirror it horizontal up here in the taskbar, or I can right click and I can choose to flip horizontal. All right, I think this would look really nice if I blended it in with the map at the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the middle layer and I'm just going to drag it up. So our woman is going to go on top. And let's just hide it for now. I want to merge this one here with the background. Now, I could reduce the opacity, and in this way we can blend them together. But a better way of doing it is to use layer blend modes, because as we use these layer blend modes, notice it creates a much more interesting result. This first group, called Darken, is going to hide white. And by the way, I have a more in-depth tutorial on layer blending modes. Check that out. The second set, the lighten, is going to hide black, and then it's going to merge together. The third set, the overlay ones, are going to hide gray, and then it's also going to blend together different ways. And then we get to more kind of specialty ones down here. They're kind of inverting it in different ways. And then we've got the color ones. So we could do hue, where it takes just the hue, or the actual color. We could do saturation. And then the two most useful ones is color, where it just takes the color from that layer and hides the luminosity, or we could take luminosity, where it maintains the luminosity and takes the color from the other layer. I think in this case, we're going to choose multiply, because this gives us a nice rich color, some nice contrast, and it's an interesting feel. Great. So why don't we take the woman? So let's create a nice gradual blend so we can harmoniously blend her in with the background. So to do that, we want to create a layer mask. Then we're going to grab the gradient tool. With gradient selected, go under the basics here, and then we're going to choose the black to white option. Then we're going to choose linear, which is the first option, blend mode normal, opacity 100. Now let's just click and drag. Looks like it's going the opposite of what we want, and that's because it looks like I turned reverse on. So let's just flip that reverse off. There we go. And now we can create this gentle, gradual blend. Now I kind of like the background blending more, but I would like the woman to be fully visible. So if I stop here, we're not getting the blend here. Let me show you how to do that. So let's go further. So we're going to blend it nice and gently all the way across there. And by the way, this is the midpoint. You could change this by dragging. And I might put that midpoint about there. Just kind of shows a little bit more of the background. Now I want the woman to be solid. So the thing is, when I'm working on a layer mask, we've created this gradual blend. We just need to make it white where the woman is. Easy way to do that is to grab the layer, and then we're just going to use select subject. And this should select the woman. Excellent. That's exactly what we wanted. Now we're going to choose the layer mask. Even though it's showing as a gradient, we just need to fill that with white. So I could make white the foreground color. And I could use a keyboard shortcut to just fill with that if I wanted. That would be Option Delete on Mac or Alt Backspace on Windows. Or the other thing we could do is just grab a brush. I'm using the right bracket key to make it bigger, and I could just paint over. I'll do it this way because it's a nice visual way. And if we wanted the woman on her own layer, we could select that layer, hit Control J, and now I've just got an extra copy of her. So if I hide that layer, we just look at this layer by itself. That's the option click. You can see this is what we've got, a nice blend, but now we've got our woman solid. Let's turn the other layers back on. Now the reason I created this top layer is I might want to create an effect. Maybe we could create a slight glow around her. So let's choose the effects. And then we're going to choose outer glow. And see how we could put a glow around her if we wanted, just for effect. If you want the edge to be harder, just use the spread. And it's almost like a stroke. So you could control that. I'm going to make the size a little bit smaller. Let's take the spread right off. And I'm going to drop the opacity down really low. So we just got just a faint little bit of an outline around her. Now that's just an idea. You don't have to do that. It's just to show you we can create an effect. I feel like we need another image up here. Let's click up here. And by the way, if you wanted to add an existing image you have, you could just choose Add from Device, and you could choose one of your images. You could generate one, but we're not going to use any AI in this. Let's just grab another stock one. Let's call this group of travelers and let's search for that. I think a small group of people would be really nice to add. All right, we've got some good options in here. These are always fun. We could add one of those if we wanted. So as you can see, there's lots and lots of options we could use here. I think I like this one. So let's add this. Great set here. So let's just resize this. This is a nice thing about it being a smart object. And we can position it up into this kind of area up there. And let's hit enter. So what we want to do now is we want to kind of blend these edges because we don't want these edges to, kind of show here. All right, so first of all, let's create a layer mask. And then we're going to use a variation of the gradient trick that we did. Let's grab the gradient again. We're still on the black to white, which is great. This time we're going to change it to a radial gradient. And we're going to drag out. Now, if you just start to see a hole appear in here, just hit reverse, and that will give you the opposite of what we're doing here. So if this is not working like this, reverse. And make sure you're using black to white. All right, so we can enlarge this. And notice we get a nice gentle blend. Now we can take this midpoint and drag it out. Notice as we do that, it gets more solid in the middle. Or we can have it more faded. So I'm going to take this midpoint to about here. We have a little edge there, which we don't want. So let's just kind of bring that up. There. Once we don't see that edge anymore, just give it a little bit more of a tweak here. Notice I'm able to kind of set a different midpoint in here now. And now we can split the two midpoints. See that? And I think that looks really good. So we're just clicking away. Take the top layer and apply a color tint to it. So if we go under the adjustment layer, let's use the photo filter. And we're going to go with a warm color and increase the density. So when we apply an adjustment layer, it affects every layer underneath it. If we want to isolate it to just the layer directly under it, we can choose this little icon here, which is the clip icon. And notice as I do that, now it's only affecting this layer. See that? So we can experiment with the amount, the density. I'm going to give it a little more density, and I feel like that's blending in quite nicely. Let's move that taskbar. Let's add some text. So we're going to grab the type tool. With the type tool, I'm just going to click to apply. You'll see the I-beam, and let's put some text in there. Let's call it Summertime Traveling. We could go under the menu here and change the size of it. Or we could just hit Control-T, that would be Command-T on the Mac, and then we can drag it to size it. Let's experiment for different fonts. So let's double-click to select the font. And I do like the Myriad Pro font. It's a fun font. But maybe we can find something that's a little bit more kind of fun for this. Notice as I'm doing this, we can't see what's happening because this type tool is in the way. Let me show you a little tip. If we use the taskbar, now we can preview these fonts without it getting in the way. Maybe something like this New Kansas Heavy. It's kind of a fun, more kind of 70s kind of a font here. All right, so let's double click again to select that font. And just for fun, why don't we warp it? Let's use the flag. That's fun. So why don't we give it a little bit of an effect? I'm going to put it into the middle here. And just for fun, let's go under the effects. And we're going to do a outer glow. And then for the outer glow, maybe we'll give it a little bit of this yellows kind of color. Now here's a little trick. If I don't want to show the original pixels and I just want to show the effect, we can go under blending options and you'll see opacity and fill opacity. It's the same as the one here. You wondered why there was two opacities, because if we take away the fill opacity, only the layer style is going to show. And we can see here, we can change the size of it, spread it a little more. I'd like to double up on this. There's only one outer glow, but we can cheat by also applying a drop shadow. And why don't we make the drop shadow white? Distance 0. And then we can play with the size. And now we get a second glow. I'm going to take the opacity down on that a little bit. Click OK. One last step. Let's give it an additional color grade. I'm just going to drag this out of the way. So we're going to go to the top. We're going to apply an adjustment layer. The adjustment layer I'd like to use right now is a gradient map. So let's just click. And then we get a gradient map. Now, in this situation, I want this to affect every layer underneath, so make sure this is not clipped. And then what I want to do is click, and we're going to go down to this hidden set. Under Legacy Gradients, you're going to see something called Photographic Toning. And under Photographic Toning, we have these amazing color sets that look like film. Isn't that amazing? All these really cool retro kind of looks. Look at that. Just one click. And by the way, if you don't see these, you won't see them by default. What you have to do is you have to go under Window, and then you're going to open the Gradients panel. Under the Gradients panel, click, and then choose Legacy Gradients. And then when you do that, all these other amazing gradients here, photographic toning, and all of these ones will be added. They're right there waiting for you. Now, another way we could use this is we could take some of this coloring, like maybe this color, and then just lower the opacity a little bit and blend it in a little bit with the original color. So now we're bringing in some original color. We're at about 39%. So we're just giving it more of an influence than we are completely colorizing it. One thing worth mentioning, if you like these kind of tutorials, you should check out my course I created on layers in Photoshop, where I do a ton of this kind of stuff. And as I mentioned in the tutorial, if you want to learn more about layer blending modes, check out my tutorial right here. And drop a comment, let me know if you learned anything new in this tutorial. And if you're new, welcome to the cafe. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications so you don't miss any of my weekly free tutorials. And until next time, I'll see you at the cafe.